Yo, what's going on, homies? It's your boy Stump back from the OPTC video, and in today's video, we're taking a look at the new PvP legend, Weevil, over in the PvP game mode, because obviously, he's a PvP legend, this is where he shines. Seeing how he goes within the meta, because on paper, this guy seems like a pretty good character. There is a particular line in his Rumble special that it's got everyone's giblets jingling. And it says right here at the bottom, targets 3 high defense enemies ignoring defense for attack of 2.2 times. On a 30-second cooldown, it's a long time to wait for something that is just basically doing what S-Hawk's doing. However, it's still something that is hitting very, very hard. Now, the downside to this particular character, and the reason that I'm not super gassed on the unit, is the ability wants you to have quick teammates. He's built around the quick type. He's not like quick slasher or quick striker. I think that probably would have been a little bit cooler, like having that ability to be a little bit more flexible on slasher teams, having that a little bit more flexibility on striker teams. Would have just shown the character a lot more value. And with his special, for the rest of his special, you can completely remove attack down as long as you have 8 quick type teammates on the crew. So if you want to get the full abilities of this guy, you pretty much want to run him on a quick team that's all 8 units. But for myself, I don't know, man, I just found quick to be a little bit lackluster. Now, obviously, you can substitute characters in when you're taking on strength, and that is their biggest strength, is when you are versing the SDR typing. You can substitute characters like Sugar in, Jimbei, Hadson. You have a lot of very, very good characters at your disposal. However, when it comes to the regular quick, this is sort of what I was rocking. And whilst it does seem kind of impressive a little bit over in the PvP challenge fight, things have to go your way. Specials need to pop off in particular orders. You do need some pretty hefty level breaks and whatnot too. But that's besides the point. If you guys are big quick donnies, let me know in the comment section below. I actually already recorded this video, but realized that, well, I didn't realize. One of my members realized that I hadn't even limit broken my Weevil. So I was putting a lot of shit on this guy, saying he dies all the time. Hadn't even limit broken him. So I decided to re-record the video and thought probably better to give a bit of showcase in that regard. So shout out to Yano for that one. If you guys enjoy this sort of stuff, belt the like button, hit the subscribe button, do all that good stuff. And if you guys are quick donnies and you can think of another quick team that works, let me know in the comment section below. Because for me, that Blackbeard powerhouse quick team just seems a little bit better than what you see right in front of you. So let's start it off with that quick team. We're going to take on the Suro shooter fight. This one is not exactly like the most challenging of PvP challenge fights, but it's still up there as one of the newer fights. We've got stuff like Esper, Verse Kid, all those particular characters floating around. I did try and take this quick team up against some of the big donnies, like the Slasher team, like the new Weevil fight as well, but like mirror match is never really a good sign. And I did try and use it against Strength, but obviously, I'll showcase another variation that just works infinitely better against Strength. So I thought we'd just sort of dive in here. This fight it's still, like I said, it's still not super challenging, but it's still not super easy at the same time. Like, it can still catch you off guard with some pretty powerful characters in the lineup too. Obviously, Shooter has evolved immensely since this particular team, and no Rise of Shinobu is a massive head scratcher, but at the same time, the AI's got to cook like the AI's got to cook. So I thought we'd take it on. The quick team has very interesting characters. If you are running stuff like Cross Guild, you sort of funneled into running stuff like Driven, but what you can do with slashes is run Roger and Odin. So I thought, let's funnel into the 5 slasher meta and bring 5 slasher characters. Smoothie's still fantastic as a PvP legend. Roger and Odin can give some cooldown reduction. Weevil can give some cooldown reduction. Luffy can give cooldown reduction with their specials. So the idea here is to get Weevil to go, and then you can do something. It actually worked out perfectly against this particular fight, funny enough. And then you have Luffy go literally right after him, which gives him back a nice chunky 50% cooldown. And then because Weevil's a slasher, Roger and Odin are going to give the 50% cooldown to slashers, basically just giving you back a Weevil special. So Weevil can bink 3 units with that 2.2 times attack that ignores defense. He removes all the attack down and he applies blow away. And then basically you just get the special back to wrap the fight up. So that was a really good showcasing of what you can actually do. But against some of the bigger teams, they don't really let you do that as easily as what you guys saw right there. But I really wanted to showcase that because I thought that would be the most fun way to use Weevil. As mentioned at the start of the video though, Strength is the counterpart to Quick. So this is where Quick are going to be at their best. We did obviously substitute some very powerful characters that can nerf Quick pretty easily. Jimbei being the main one. I don't have Hadson. I would definitely just throw Hadson in for that Shiryu spot. But Shiryu also nerfs Strength. And then Sugar is like the world's biggest Strength nerfer. She just does attack down, defense down, a whole bunch of nasty shit really. And then also gives us quite a bit of cooldown too, which Weevil definitely needs. Weevil on a 30-second cooldown is pretty ridiculously high. Like, I believe S-Hawk is on 28-second cooldown, which in hindsight is actually a massive difference. When you start taking speed into consideration and the way that the lineup looks on the left-hand side there, 28 seconds compared to 30 seconds is actually a pretty big difference, even though on paper it is literally only 2 seconds. When you start taking cooldown reductions into effect and the percentile reductions, like, then you start even doing a bit more numbers, and you can do some... You'll find out that 28 seconds is just a lot better. I think he's on 20... He might be on 26. I want to say he's on 28-second cooldown, but... as you can see here, like, this strength lineup is very, very powerful. They have Luffy, level Break 5 waifus, Kuma, and Uta for the super special. So they have some pretty hefty stuff going for them, but with the amount of damage you can output with Jinbei, Luffy puts out a butt ton of damage, Weevil's putting out a butt ton of damage, you have Special Bind, you have Nerfing with Sugar, like, this team just absolutely plows through the lineup. And if you guys don't have Weevil, just put Sugar Smoothie there, and like, it should just still do bits. Again, if you have Hatchan as well, like, it's going to mow through it, but Weevil just being added to this team, the amount of damage he can do, this is realistically where Weevil is going to be his best, where he's thrown in 8 quick units, against Strength, where he realistically shines. And Strength are probably one of the best teams in the game at the moment, so this is always really, really good. And funny enough, now that I have him limit broken, he's not dying. In my last showcase, he was just dying, and I was just carrying on like an absolute pork chop. I might try and, like, cut to that part of the video where I'm just like, blowing up, and I'm just like, he just dies. He just dies. It's pretty funny.
I think we get pretty bad RNG here, where we take the Kobe special straight into a Luffy shot. So this will be good to see how the quick team tanks. Yeah, Weevil dies, man. He just dies. He always dies. I just don't see the value in this character in the front. But like I said, if you're a quick PP donor out there, and you're like, Stump, you gotta run it like this. Like, please, for the love of God, let me know in the comment section below.
So realistically, it just so happened that I need to limit break him, and then he just doesn't die. So that was a little bit of a snippet from my previous recording, because like I said, I hadn't limit broken him. Shout out to Yano once again for being like, yo, LB, you're a Weevil, dude. And you might find that he's a little bit better. And he's a little bit better, but what I said still stands. Like, I still feel like him in the front, unless you're running 8 quick units, there's not a lot of value there. Mainly because Quick is so bad right now. And if Quick get more characters down the line, I feel like that's where he's really going to shine. Alright, so finally, the place that I'm going to probably run Weevil the most is over on the Slasher team, just off the bench. The amount of damage he can provide late game is where I think he's going to shine the most. Like I said, having him in the front lines right now for what the Quick team is, doesn't really seem to hold that much value. Obviously, he's like the big damage deal on Quick, but Quick is just in a position where they just kind of need that one extra unit that is just taking them to the next level. And look, as I'm recording this video, in the next 5 minutes, we get the... we should be getting the Part 2 release for the Worldwide Celebration. If that's a quick unit, then, look, we could be in business, and that could help Weevil out quite a bit, or Weevil could help them out quite a bit. But, again, like I said, if you guys know something about the quick team that I don't know, like, please let me know in the comment section below. So, taking them onto the Slasher fight, this particular fight here is actually, I would probably say, is the most challenging. The Strength one's pretty challenging, but this one right here, it doesn't really have too many weaknesses and too many holes. And that Roger Rally Command special at level in Rec 5 is just something else, man. And I figured this would be the best way to get Weevil in, but downside to running Weevil on the bench for these types of teams is that sometimes, 1, you won't even need him, and 2, if he does come in, he can still just die. Like, later in the fight, like, if the enemy team is just functioning better than what your team is, then unfortunately Weevil's just not going to be in a very good spot, and he can just either die before his special goes off because he's on such a high cooldown, or you just will never see that special. And this is exactly what happens in this particular fight. I actually ran the Powerhouse fight as well as the Weevil fight, so I decided to do the actual Weevil fight as well, thinking, oh, let's get some Weevil versus Weevil action in. But funny enough, they all ended the same way. Weevil either never came in, or when he did come in, he just didn't use his special. Like, it was just the fight was over at that particular point. So having him as a backline option is exceptional. And he's going to help out. Like, there are going to be times where he comes in for a character and has a special ready to go. He's going to pop it at the exact right time, and he's going to win you fights. But at the same time, like, there's also those chances that you are going to lose those fights too. So it just is what it is. Now, I'm a big Slasher Donnie, so me having Weevil on the bench is awesome. Same as, like, Greenbull and Fuji. Big reason why I wanted to pick them up is because they are very Slashers focused. And like I said, I always like expanding on my slasher team. I just can't wait to get the Sulongs level in Reg 5, man. Like, once I start picking them up off tickets and they get to their level in Reg 5 and I can run them on the slash team, man, shit's gonna be cooking, and I actually cannot wait. So let me know what you guys think of Weevil down below. If you guys pulled him, if you've used him, if you enjoy the character, let me know down below with what you guys think of the unit. He's a very good character, don't get me wrong. The character itself on paper is great. He does blowback, which is one of the most underrated abilities in the game, just stopping enemy characters from doing anything. And he provides defense and HP, which is an exceptional buff for a character in the front. But again, he's just damage at the moment, and running 8 quick characters can be a little bit detriment to your squad. But if you enjoyed the video, bell like button, hit the subscribe button, do all that good stuff. Most importantly, wherever you guys are in this beautiful world, please remember to enjoy the rest of your day. As always, homies, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one.